Captain. Damn, somebody had a bad day there. Looked like an oil pan fell off or some shit. It was just like everywhere. I don't know. I figured I'd bring my camera along with me. I'm on probably the last ride of the year because it is cold and it's getting colder. There's a speed bump up here. Okay, I don't think I've ever been up this way. See, I want to get a building kind of like that, but at the same time, I think I'd rather have something with some history. It's a public area. Ooh, it's all gravel. Fuck. I guess we're riding on some gravel today. Alright, come on. I mean, it's not like it's the first time I've ridden on gravel. I just prefer not to, because gravel and street bikes are not the most friendly of terms, for sure. I'm gonna see how far I can get up here before I find something that makes me turn around. Why not? I'm on a water-cooled bike. I don't have to be going too fast. Ooh, looks like there's a parking lot up here. Animals must be leashed. What is this? Okay, so there's a spot to sit up there, and there's like a little... I think at some point this was paved, but the pavement's gone to shit. I almost want to go up there. We'll be alright. I'll skip it for today. Is there more? No, there isn't. Okay, I should probably keep my eyes ahead of me. Well, there's a view of the mountains. We're on like the lower elevation portion of the... But there is a spot if you go further up, like if you take the highway up there, because this is just the edge of the range. If you get up there, you can get to like 12,000 feet pretty easily. Right now we're at 4,600 feet, 4,700 feet, because I know we're a little bit higher than the town. The elevation's pretty high, and I still have this bike was originally in Missouri, so it was jetted from Missouri, which is like 700 feet maybe. I have what is very much so not meant for this elevation, and I go even higher in elevation, but it seems to do okay. It doesn't get too happy when I get further up in the mountains, but I just don't crack it open too much. And it seems that this is a double spark bike, which doesn't really mean all that much, but I've seen to notice that like it punishes me less for having it too rich. And then the ones that came like directly after this bike from Honda were fuel injected. All right, well, that was fun. That was a nice little outing there. We're gonna head over here. I don't remember the last time I was on this road. I did DoorDash throughout the entire summer and spring, so I kind of like I have it on lockdown. Like I've been on probably every street in this town, and I've delivered a few places that didn't really have streets. That was kind of interesting. But if mail goes there, I've probably been there, or at least near it. It's kind of just, it's like a big small town, it feels like here, because they do allow like off-road vehicles on the roads and stuff like that. So you see a lot of like side-by-sides running around, and coming from rural Missouri, I got really used to that being normal. So I guess I wasn't as surprised by it, but then I found out that a lot of larger areas tend to not like that very much. What is going on here? The guy had second thoughts on which way he was gonna go. Ooh. That's fun. I just went ahead and went since they were having a conversation. It's alright. Usually if I have lumber like that guy did back there, and it's like a bunch of 1x, I'd usually bring a 2x4 with me, or buy one while I'm there, and just line them up and strap them to each other so they don't flex all over the place. I've lost a board from that. I hit specifically a really big bump, and it just bent over the tailgate and just cracked in half, and I was like, well, fuck, there goes like a $20 board. And guess who doesn't usually have 20 other extra dollars just vibing? Because he's financially irresponsible and unemployed. That's this guy. I was able to hold a job and work pretty close to 40 hours a week pretty easily when I went to community college, even though there was like a lot more homework technically, because there was more like assignments out, because I was just bulking up on classes while I was there when I was in Missouri, you know. And it didn't cost me really anything to go to community college in Missouri. It actually, I think I ended up making out in the positives, because my scholarships ended up paying for more. Missouri has a program, it's called the A+ program, and they'll pay for either a trade school or a community college in like their group of colleges, usually public stuff. I don't know why I slowed down for that intersection. Thankfully, there's nobody behind me to make fun of me. But they have a program. It was called A+. I think it's still going. I hope so. Hopefully it didn't dry up yet. They had A+, and they'd pay for either a trade school or a community college in their group of like colleges that they had. And there was one in my hometown, and I was like, hell yeah. So I got A+. And you know, I was kind of straight as an arrow in high school with everything in my life. I ended up getting decent grades. I think I graduated with like a 3.7. I didn't take a whole lot of crazy classes. Like I think the highest math class I took was college algebra, which ended up being a dual credit class or an AP class, some people like to call it. Depends on where you go to school. And it worked out pretty well. So I ended up getting my 2-year degree. I just took it one step at a time, got it in 2 years, didn't try to get it before I graduated high school or anything like that. There was one girl in my high school graduating class. She graduated with her 2-year degree and her high school diploma at the same time. Made me feel pretty far behind, especially now. But I got my 2-year degree there, got all my gen eds out of the way, and you know, kudos to New Mexico State. They took all of the credits. Let me make sure I'm still going here. Yep. And they took all of my credits and said, no problem, we're going to take everything, we're going to transfer it just right. And they did that for just about everything. And that was pretty cool because I was able to get into an engineering program here. Granted, the first year was out of state, even though I plan on being a permanent resident here for at least the next like 10 years or so. You know, depending on how New Mexico goes for me, I might stay here for a lot longer. Ooh, we're going to slow down a little bit because it's getting windy. We'll stay at 35. It ended up working out for me. So I got my 2-year degree and then I transferred out here and I decided to major in aerospace and mechanical engineering. I'm gonna scoot up a little bit. Oh, never mind, he's gonna work his way around me. Yeah, I'm just trying to cruise, just having a good time talking to my camera, because your boy here doesn't have a very well noise canceling helmet, unfortunately. All right, there's nobody behind me. I can slow back down. I didn't realize they were all going to pass me so easily, so I was trying to speed up so they wouldn't get caught up behind me. But it's not too bad. So I got here in my first year was kind of crazy. It was like 11,000 something a semester, which for somebody like me who pretty much had no savings coming in, I got bent. So I had to take I couldn't fill out the FAFSA. There was something going on with taxes and it really sucked. You know, we weren't on the bad side of Uncle Sam or anything. You know, the IRS does kind of tend to bend people about that shit, but so I wasn't able to fill out my FAFSA, so the only way I was able to pay for it was to take private student loans. Yeah, that's a fun one for you. But now, you know, New Mexico, I'll give them some credit. We've got the Opportunity Scholarship Program, and now that I'm considered an in-state student, I get the Opportunity Scholarship, which effectively means I pay for my textbooks, which is, you know, still probably like $600, $700 a semester if you're not careful, but it's so much better. You know, that way I just do that, and considering my course load, my homework is I wouldn't say I get more homework assignment, because I think I got more when I was in community college, but they're so much harder. It's not even fun. It's so much harder. Engineering is a pretty crazy major to get into, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of brutal sometimes. You know, times like today, I'm on Thanksgiving break and I'm still able to just like cruise around. Call of Duty dropped recently. I'm just avoiding responsibilities and I'll still probably pass just fine, you know, and I'll be able to retain all the information I got throughout the semester, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I like it so far. And I've noticed my math classes are kind of brutal. Calculus is kind of tough. But right now, my biggest thing is thermodynamics is a bitch. I don't know what to say about that other than that. There's a lot of bikers out today. I didn't expect to see this many. Like, I'm just trying to cruise around and finish up this tank of gas. But I haven't looked at the carbs and stuff on here. I'm thinking I might probably switch out the jets for something smaller because of my elevation eventually. But right now, doesn't seem to be too angry. I mean, yeah, it's running just fine. I don't hear any pops. I don't hear any crackles. It's nice and happy. Well, New Mexico State is pretty great. It's an affordable education, bar none. It's just, I don't know. And it's pretty quality too. I'm not going to say we're like the top ranking school and blah, 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 but we are a very good value school. And hey, I've taken, well, half of the classes now in the engineering program for mechanical and aerospace engineering. And I'll say I'm not dead yet. I've hung in there, but they're substantive, I think is the word for it, classes, so it works out pretty good. When it warms up, I'll probably take us up into the mountains, but for right now, not a chance. It is way too cold up there right now. Let me get this over. I do have to swap out my tires eventually, because they are getting kind of old, and they've got like flat spots and other stuff. I keep buying really soft tires because the roads here just don't leave anything for the tires to grab onto. They're slick as snot half the time, which is, I guess it's good for tire wear, but when you're me and you have to stop very fast sometimes, it's not very fun. Like if I was to slam on the brakes where I'm at right now on the road, I'd probably be fucked. I'd really have to feather my brakes. Over here, probably more of the same. Here, I don't stand a chance. Thankfully, it's chilly today, but it's still comfortable. But I'm not gonna lie, I like it in New Mexico State, and you know, a lot of the jobs I can find in aerospace are right here. They're literally where I live, so I'd say I picked a good spot to move to for aerospace. Don't get me wrong, I love Missouri, but there wasn't nearly as much for that there. Okay, that visor's going down. I've got like a little sun shield visor inside that has like an extra layer of shading. I can talk on and on and on forever and ever.